test. We're at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. And Frank, what makes this such a good test?
It's got a great flow to it, Rich. Holes that bend in both directions, changes of elevation, the phenomenal finish that's named the Green Mile, which is 16, 17, and 18, some reachable par fives. Players have gone low here as well. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's plenty of opportunities. It's just a great blend, Rich.
Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Here we are on the back nine now at Quail Hollow, and a good scoring opportunity to kick off the inward nine.
It is, Rich. It's sort of reminiscent of the 10th hole at Valhalla. Remember the challenge, or should I say the charge, that Rory McIlroy started that in that very hole when he made eagle. It's the same opportunity here. Reachable par 5, just under 600 yards, but you really could get off to a great start.
Frank, through the years, we have seen countless what we would call good ball strikers, great swingers of the golf club, but there is something else that separates those kinds of players with the truly great achievers in the sport. What is it?
Great achievers have more than one plan. I think most players, it's always good if they're playing their golf. But what do you do if your driving is off or if your iron play is off? Do you have a plan B? Great players not only have a plan B, they have a plan C as well. And that's the difference. So when you set foot on the first tee, you've also got to be aware of, what if my driver doesn't go as well as I would like to, or my iron play isn't as sharp? Can I still compete?
So they can turn 74 into a 71.
That's right. And at the end of a 4-day tournament, the 71 doesn't look so bad, even if somebody shot 65 that day. Remember, as you know, and both of us know now, when you look at 4 days, someone always plays average for a day, but they don't play bad.
Golf tournaments aren't 100-yard sprints, they're marathons. playing his second shot here at the par 5. You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. This for another birdie on this hole on the week. Well, at last, a birdie. Now to the par 4 11. Frank, what do you think of this hole?
It's an interesting hole, Rich, and I'm curious to see how aggressive players will play here today. The easy way, obviously, is just hit it down the right side and set up a nice second shot with a short iron. Or the most fun way is to take the big stick out and try and bite off as much of that corner as you choose, but be prepared to pay the price should it not come off.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Strong winds have been a factor all day here, Frank. What's the key to scoring low in conditions like this?
Well, sometimes you've almost got to make the ball go to ground. You just got to keep it out of those high breezes, play away from the trouble.
Frank, this is where the mental game really comes into play. You've hit a second consecutive shot into the rough.
This could compound very, very quickly. So now's a chance to just take a little breath, take a breather, and try to make sure this shot certainly gets out. Well, from in trouble, Rich, at least he's back in play.
On the fairway from the rough. Well, Frank, these winds have not at all subsided. Still a challenge.
Yeah, but the same for everybody, and that's where you've just got to adjust your own mental par. Golf course was going to be difficult when you teed off. It's certainly no different now.
Pretty good shot right there.
Even par currently.
Frank, this has been an absolute mess today and all week long.
You said it best.
Here we are now at the 12th, and Frank, this is a beautiful but dangerous hole, par 4.
It is in a number of ways. The hole bends gently to the right, which you'd think would favor a nice little fade, but the fairway just seems to shrink up. I've seen this fairway missed by so many good players. And plus its yardage, 450 odd. You can't really lay back too far, otherwise you've got too long for your second shot.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. On the green in regulation. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
Been a little too much of that, Frank. Just sort of ho-hum pars. Now to the par 3 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. There's a front right portion, there's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So don't be deceived by the size of this green. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Good solid par right there. Day 3, and what a tournament this is shaping up to be, Frank.
Quite simply, great weather, great golf, great fans, which is the perfect mix for a golfer trying to win a tournament. The final round, if this is anything to go by, has to just be sensational.